And I am going to turn the microphone. Our guest speaker has got a pretty tight agenda tonight with some trade-related things that are pretty important to this country, so I think we better let him go do his job. But to introduce him, it's my pleasure to introduce our chairman of the board, Mark DeYoung. I think a lot of folks in the room that are in the outdoor industry know Mark. Mark is the president and CEO of Vista Outdoors, which was part of ATK, or Mark was in control of ATK, took the sporting side of ATK out, created a company, publicly traded company back in the early part of the spring. Vista Outdoors is probably better known for a lot of their brands. They're the biggest outdoor equipment manufacturing company. It goes from Spear bullets to Federal ammunition to Bushnell to Weaver and on and on. And most recently they acquired Camelback. It really a huge breadth of what they cover. Mark's been on our board for a number of years. He's from Utah, living in Utah. He's an avid sportsman. Please welcome Mark DeYoung.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. We'll be short and sweet tonight because I know Paul's got meetings. We want him to get back and go to work. We were just chatting about he's a public servant, so we're going to keep whipping him to work. We appreciate you being here tonight. Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation is in its 26th year. We celebrated 25 years last year, you may recall, for those of you who are here. It's a great organization that is focused, as you know, on the legislative issues that protect our way of life. They protect our heritage in hunting, shooting, and fishing. They protect access to public lands, public use of public lands, our fisheries, and our fishing opportunities across the country. So we have a great work in the foundation. I appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate those of you who contribute financially and are members of my Chairman's Club, which we just launched this year. If you want to learn about the Chairman's Club, it's the first opportunity we've created for you to be a member of the foundation through a donation and joining the Chairman's Club. We had a great luncheon today, private luncheon today. I encourage you to look into that. I appreciate those of you who are here with companies and other organizations that support the effort, the work, and the mission that we're doing in Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation. We're going to have a great auction tonight. We're going to have a great time at dinner, so thank you for being here. I want to introduce Paul Ryan briefly, born and raised in a community of Janesville. He is the 5th generation Wisconsin native, currently serving his 9th term as a member of Congress. He is chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. Paul and his wife Jana live in Janesville with their children. We'll turn the time over to you, Paul. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Hey everybody, how you doing? Good. Good. Welcome to DC. We don't do much good here these days. And I'll tell you, this is my 17th year as a member of the Sportsmen's Caucus, which is obviously backed by the foundation. Jeff Crane, by the way, I served as a chairman of the Sportsmen's Caucus for 2 terms. Jeff Crane does a damn good job for you guys up here in Capitol Hill. These days, we play a lot of defense because we have an administration kicking out regulations left and right, trying to get it all done before, get it out the door before they leave. And so, of all times when a Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation and Caucus need to be engaged, it's a time like this. I can tell you it is the biggest, most bipartisan, bicameral caucus in Congress. And so this is what unites us. We have anglers, hunters, conservationists. It's about protecting our rights, our habitat, and our access. And all 3 of those have been under duress lately. And so by having a caucus like this that's ready built, ready made, ready to go, as I served 2 terms doing this, when an issue comes up, we jump on it. We don't have to all of a sudden form some coalition and get 3 months behind us before we can take on an issue such as denying access to federal lands for ATVs, or trying to stop archery in suburbs. And I can go on and on and on with kinds of issues that they deal with that come at us. But that's what's so valuable about having this caucus. Bipartisan, bicameral, 300 members, around 300 members, ready to go, so when an amendment comes up, and that happens pretty short notice. I mean, when we do appropriations bills, you'd be amazed at what some people try to sneak into these bills that affect our rights, that affect our access. So having a ready-made caucus on a couple hours notice to be able to say, alert, this is an amendment that goes after our rights. They tried taking trapping away on federal lands not too long ago. we pounce on it and we're able to defeat a lot of these onslaughts. So please know that this is extremely valuable. Your presence here, your participation in this, and this caucus and foundation that backs it up. And so I gotta tell you, as a lifelong believer in the Constitution and the Second Amendment rights and hunter, I was in my tree stand, Sunday night, just enjoying God's creation with my great Wisconsin-made Matthews bow, my Slick Tricks broadheads, I can go on and on and on, and my Bushnell rangefinder. And this fall when I use a rifle, I don't have Weaver scope mounts on it.
Thank you very much.
You don't own Leopold, do you?
Not yet.
I got to tell you, just as a citizen, I appreciate what you guys do, what you produce. It's going to be a good year. We're going to have, 3 hatches down south in Quail, they tell us. Up in Wisconsin, our pheasant and grouse, the grouse cycle is coming up, the pheasant population's good. The deer are moving, I can attest to that. They were moving this last weekend, they're going to be moving this weekend. So let's all have ourselves a heck of a great year. Thank you for coming up and helping us defend our freedoms. If it weren't for your help, if it weren't for your participation, and for what Jeff does on a daily basis, keeping us apprised of these things, they're going to get a few by the goalie. They could slip some things in here in law, especially in the closing days of this administration, that are not in our interest, that will violate our rights. And so it's time to be on our toes. It's time to be thankful for what we've got in this country, freedom, and to make sure that we can continue to exercise it. So thanks for coming tonight and have a great night. Appreciate it.
Make sure that I mentioned and thanked the sponsors for this VIP evening and reception we have tonight. Remington is one of our sponsors tonight, as is Safari Club International, so we appreciate the leadership of those companies tonight. Paul mentioned 300 bipartisan members of the Sportsmen's Caucus. I just wanted to give you a couple of other tidbits so you're aware of the work that Jeff and his team and what we're trying to accomplish. We have over 2,000 state legislators that are members of Congressional Sportsman Caucuses at the state level as well. We have 47 states now that are organized into caucuses under the National Assembly of Sportsmen's Caucuses. We have 33 members of our Governor's Caucus now across the country. So we are making great grounds, not only nationally with leadership from Paul and others, but also at the state and local level, which, as you know, is the battleground for a lot of these issues now. So I think it's important to recognize that the mission of the Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation is not just congressional, that it goes into state and local district as well. Our banquet theme tonight is honoring sportsmen and women, America's true conservationists. If you understand where the monies come from that drive conservation, it's from anglers, it's from hunters, and it's from sportsmen who pay that excise tax, buy those license fees, buy those duck stamps. That's where that money comes from. So we want to honor them tonight as part of our theme for our banquet. So we appreciate all the efforts of all the users in our user pay, public benefit kind of system we have in the North American conservation model. Today I'd like to take a minute tonight. I want to talk briefly about Safari Club International. We appreciate their sponsorship of the VIP reception. Here to speak to us tonight for just a few minutes is Larry Higgins. Larry is the president of SCI. SCI, you may or may not know, has been a group that has supported the Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation from the very beginning. They've been a stalwart, they've been with us a long time. Larry's here tonight, I want to introduce him at this time. He joined SCI in '79 and became a life member in 2004. He served in the Mid-Michigan chapter as a member of the board for 13 years. In addition, he served 2 years as director of Safari Club International Foundation. So we want to welcome Larry and we want to give him the mic for just a few minutes.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that gracious introduction. You know, it's really an honor and a privilege for all of us from Safari Club that are here this evening to be here. We've been part of the Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation since its inception, I believe in 1989, and we're damn proud of that. And everybody in this room are, because they do yeoman's work. You know, we had a meeting here a couple hours ago, and for all my friends and colleagues out here from other like-minded organizations, I thought it was a good meeting. And now more than ever, we need to start learning to work together, because our enemies are many, they have deep pockets, and it's not going to stop. I took over the presidency of Safari Club July 1st, and first thing was the airline embargo, and then now probably the most famous animal that will ever live. And I remember my predecessor, Craig, stood here a year ago, And everything was hunky-dory. He goes, how's your first 90 days? And I said, you want the job back? But seriously, now is the time that we need to all work together, because I think the worst is yet to come. But I'll tell you, we can win, and we will win. We must win, because hunters and wildlife around the world are banking on all of us in this room. And with all the like-minded organizations that are here, and I know many of you well, we can do it, and we must do it, gang. I'd like President Paul Baz to come up and help me present the check to this great organization that we've been so proud to be affiliated with for so many years. Jeff, could you join me, please?